Grosmont is a member of an illustrious trio of strongholdings. Along with Skemfrith and White Castle, it's one of the 3 castles of Gwent, built by the Normans to control a key section of troublesome border country. The original earth and timber stronghold, built on a Gros Mont, French for big hill, was later replaced in stone. It experienced an active life. 13th century reconstruction included the gatehouse and circular towers. Remodelling a century later gave Grosmont apartments fit for a noble household, but by the 15th century the castle was in the wars again, besieged in the rebellion led by the charismatic Welsh leader Owain Glyndwr. Come along with us and enjoy the tour of Grosmont Castle with the renowned medium Kate Winters.
Right, look, isn't that funny? Look up at the sky. We've got that cross in the sky, that kiss in the sky, and as soon as we'd identified it, it started fading away. Even though we know that it's like the planes. So as I linked to the land, I can feel that there's a female that's walking around the perimeter. She's dressed and she's got like a long blue skirt on with an apron, and she's got a white, what looks like some kind of medieval cap on. She's got four girls with her. She said that her name is Mary Dover. Now it's really important that she's walking around the outside of the perimeter, and because I've used my pendulum. And she is on the outside, but she does not step through into the castle walls. There's a connection with a bakery there, and her family has come from somewhere that begins with it. It's got a C, it's got a G in it, but I can't quite get where it is. The eldest daughter died of a lung condition. The second eldest got the same condition, but actually recovered. There was also a feeling that there was very much a boy wanted, but the boy never appeared. His pregnancy ended in a stillborn that was born. I asked her, like, why do you stay on this perimeter, and you're not going through the castle walls? She's shaking her head. She's just shaking her head at me, and she's saying no. And there's a feeling the dwelling was up that way, but there's like a feeling of foraging in this area. It feels like some kind of edible flowers that they would have got, and some kind of nettles and different. It's very, very different greenery that would actually look the same to everybody else, but to them they could make up. I was going to say tinctures, but she's shaking her head. That's wrong. Foods that would have been consumed, and we're looking at 1400 to 1500 that would have been consumed at that time, that aren't consumed now, that are green, that are really dense, and would have been all kind of like cooked up together. Okay, and that's what they were foraging for around this area. So we've got anti-clockwise for yes. There, can you see it swinging forwards and backwards? That was the no. I've asked, is Mary Dover, does she come into this area? And the answer is no. The knights, I mean, for me, I would think like knights would have like, like the Red Cross on them, but they haven't. They've got different colours on them. They've got yellow and they've got blue, and there's some red. But there was 3 to start with that came this way, and then there was, it was almost like they were being told to cut. The rest of them were being told to come this way, because I can feel the galloping of the hooves now. It's making me feel quite like I can feel adrenaline going round. but there was for some reason this wasn't invaded. This side wasn't invaded by the scene that I can sense and feel that's coming off the land from this area. I can see a male. I can only see his head. And this isn't a spirit connection. This is connected in with the land. This is some energy that's been left in the land. He's got a helmet on that's got a rim that comes down to protect his nose. I've got the name Richard really, really strongly. I feel that he would have had some facial hair, but it actually feels like this isn't a spirit connection. This is residue energy that's been left by a really strong emotion that was connected in with this land. It does not, do you know, strangely, right? It doesn't feel like it was fear. It feels like it was a deep sense of connectedness, a deep sense of love, a deep sense of peace, which is really unusual because normally you feel the stronger human emotion. They're the darker, heavier ones, but it doesn't fit. And it's just here. It's right here. And all I can see in my mind's eye is just his head and his and this helmet that he's got on, but the helmet it's not like a full face. Okay, so we're asking this, Richard, we're sensing the energy of this knight, this warrior, Richard. There we go. There it is. Okay, so I feel that he would have gone inside. He would have gone inside for some. I don't feel that he spent an awful lot of time here actually, because the energy is stronger here. Did Richard spend a lot of time here? And we've got no. Okay, we've got forward and back. You know, it's almost like there's so much energy at this point here that it almost blurs into one. It's almost like the energy had never been cleared, so it's kind of it's underneath all the way up to where the ceiling would have been, but it's almost like you can't even link into like one person's energy because the energy in here is just it sounds strange because it's really it's calm, but yet there is so much energy in here that it's all intermingled, it's all blended together. It's almost like swirling, but it's not swirling as in an anxiety. It's almost like a happy busyness, which again does sound a bit strange because the conscious part of our mind would think that there would be misery and scarcity, but actually the energy in here feels like a happy, accepting busyness.
On a day-to-day, it would be manic.
Yes.
Lots of people.
Yeah.
Long-standing and trusted servant of King John, Herbert de Burgh had risen from the lower nobility in Norfolk to a position of rank in the English royal court. When he received Grosmont Castle, he began to turn it into a modern castle and desirable residence. 1201 to 1205. Whilst fighting to protect the king's land in France, Herbert heroically held Chilham Castle under siege for a year. The castle fell. Herbert was captured and held hostage for 2 years. King John repaid Herbert's loyalty by taking back his 3 Welsh castles. It was 1205 and Herbert had barely started his building project. Only the Great Hall at Grosmont could have been finished.
It wasn't normal to have them strung up here because I don't know what this is like, but there's I can feel this. It wasn't strung up. I can feel a body kind of like on a rope somewhere around here. But it doesn't feel normal. It's like I couldn't even really place it, but it felt like somebody being strung, and somebody's actually being hung by the neck, but they wouldn't normally happen in there. And you've just said that would have been the dungeon
down below. Yeah.
There
so
we go.
Up there, all these little windows are just big enough to shoot arrows from.
Yeah.
And then down below, and I guess there would have been something running through this wall.
Yeah.
Here. So the guards can get from tower to tower to tower without ever having to face.
I tell you what. Do you remember I said there's somebody's fallen out of one of the I know you said they're only big enough for arrows, but I can sense that at some point somebody has fallen out of one of the windows.
Well, they used to go on the picture on there. There's one stood at the top, at the very top. That used to be a rounded thing with a point in the middle, and they used to stand around the outside of them.
Yeah, because what I can sense and feel, this is the energy of the place, rather than actually connecting into spirit, is that somebody has fallen out of the window. Somebody being strung up is down in the dungeon, but the person that's fallen out the window has fallen out and somehow caught themselves and strangled themselves. That's why it's not normal to have. Why I could feel that somebody was swinging by the neck, but because they'd fallen out the window. There we go. Feels like a kitchen area with people that were lower in standard, lower in stature. Oh, there we go. We're standing in the basement, storerooms, hall of the great.
Great hall upstairs, is it?
I can sense and feel that there's children around the outside that were kind of hiding, waiting for food. Because there was somebody in here. It wasn't a female, actually. It was a male that was kind enough to be feeding some of the village children. Yeah, just trying to connect in. I keep getting the name Arthur, but I don't feel that was the name of the person that was kind enough to feed the children. Whoever he was worked in this kind of area down here, but he also had a connection with the church, and came from a real heart space. I could feel a real very kind person, very kind man. And the children, there was 2 children in particular that would come to this area. They used to hide. There's a space around. If we go out and we go around to the left, and then we go sort of down and around here, there's somewhere that they used to hide around there. Perhaps we ought to go and have a look at that and just see. Also got the name of Archibald Henry. I've just got this sense of children playing fun, but it's not really obvious. It's children hiding, but finding it funny because they're hiding and they're finding it fun. There's an element of being caught, but rather than being frightened of being caught, they're actually they're. It's almost like they're living in the moment, like really living in the moment. As we come in here, I can feel like the name Louisa. The lady actually feels that she had some kind of standing. She wasn't part of the. She feels that she's kind of middle ground. She's not like a queen or anything like that, but she's not a servant. She feels that she was somebody who was stood in very high regard, that helped with the maintenance of the house and stuff.
King John contributed towards Herbert's ransom, and in 1207 he was freed. It wasn't until 1219 that Herbert regained his Welsh castles and could begin building again. Herbert was at the height of his power and influence, even receiving 50 oak trees for building of Grosmont from the new King Henry III, 1219 to 1232.
trail what looked like warriors on horseback. It felt like knights, and there was 3 that came, and they came from this direction. I said like I don't know what is in that direction, so I've never been here before, but I could sense them coming this way. And then it was almost like they called a herd of other like horseback warriors, and then they stopped here, and they didn't come in this way for some reason. At that point, they stopped and they went back. But you've just said that there was a lot of
I can't remember exactly where the border is, but I know it's not far from here, and there's always been battles over the border between England and Wales as well. There
we go. So that's where the men in horseback came in, because they were wearing like a knight's uniform, but it wasn't the way that I would view a knight, because I don't know much about knights. I would see them as like having a red thing, but these have got like blue and gold, and were sort of around this area, and they were being fed by somebody. It was a male, not a female. It was a male, and he was really nice. He got connection to a church. I don't know if it's a church over there, but there was a connection to the church. He worked in the heart space. He worked within these walls, and he gave the children food. And they whenever they were laughing and running, and they came around this way, and it felt that there was a hidey hole somewhere around here. Now this looks really, 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 really steep, but there was definitely something, whether it be a tree or something that was around here that they would have hidden behind, around.
Could be that tree.
Possibly, yeah, because it feels that there was people. They didn't feel that they came up, but they went down. But it seems ever so steep to be going down. But yeah. I still feel that they would have gone down. Yeah. Oh, that's why they went down, wasn't it? It's because like there's a softness at the bottom, isn't it? Really sense too much going on here, but it gives me a real feeling of peace just being stood here. Head over to the church, because one of the workers in the castle was feeding the children. They got a connection with the church. I didn't realise the church was quite so close. So just grabbing my shake, and then we'll. Right, so Chris, come here a minute. Right, so if you feel the energy out here, the energy is very different as you move in, right? So if you just breathe deeply and feel the energy. There's almost like a, even though it's very quiet, there's like a roughness on it. It's different from up there. It's like
I'm still learning all this stuff.
Okay, but take a deep breath, right, and then just feel the energy on your skin, right, and then just walk through, and suddenly there is a smoothness. Feel your skin, feel how it feels on your skin. Go out and really like take stock how your skin feels, right? On your hands and face. Then you move through, and there is a smoothness as you walk in here. It's quite unusual actually. You know, I've got a sense of a gentleman who's very much he feels like a land worker. He's got his sleeves rolled up. John Davis with an E, not an IS, with an E, and he comes and there's a mother and a child that he comes to visit, and as he comes around, there's a mother and a child that he's mourning, but it doesn't feel like it's not his wife and child. It's the wife and child of a friend. Is there mining around here? Because it feels like there's some kind of mining accident.
It's a mining area.
This is.
I don't know about directly. I can look into it.
Because the wife and child is the friend is a miner. The wife and child is connected to the miner.
There's pretty much mines everywhere around South Wales.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Smelling here. It smells amazing.
Mm.
Oh. Oh God! It feels heavy, but it feels heavy. It's almost like a comfort blanket. You know, those blankets that you get for children. That's how the energy feels in here. It's so comforting. Yes. There's a Henry there. I said about Henry, didn't I? By the church, there's a Henry there. Look. So I keep having a name flash through my head. Maud, Maud, Maud. Maud. Maud.
So 1666, great year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
1666.
Even just the work that's gone into doing this.
Yeah. Wow.
In 1666, the Salem witch trials, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That's the oldest grave I've ever seen.
We've got a Mary and a Richard there together, look.
Mm.
Grosmont's later owners, the Duke of Lancaster, continued to modernise the accommodation of Grosmont. You can still see their ornate chimney stack. The Lancasters were a junior branch of the royal family, but in 1399, Henry Bolingbroke, Duke of Lancaster, deposed King Richard II and took the crown to become Henry IV. Grosmont became a minor property in a vast royal estate, neglected and eventually falling into ruin. 1320 to 1360. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and look out for our next video coming soon.